howdy all you collector car fans out there. This is once again Jason, the owner and founder of Southernwest Motorsports. So what we have here is a part 2 to the 489 cars that were found in 4 chicken coops. This is going to be what was on the outside of these chicken coops. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go back and check out the part 1. It says 489 cars found inside 4 chicken coops. And like I said, this is the part 2. Looks like a skylark right there. So this is going to be all the cars that were on the outside, because I didn't really show the cars that were on the outside, I don't believe. But there are some pretty cool things. Yeah, there's a lot of junk there, but I mean, that looks like a 64 Malibu. There's some pretty cool stuff there. So I gave a pretty good estimate of about 489 cars in these 4 chicken coops, but I bet you there was probably another 600-700 cars on the outside of these chicken coops. And you can look at them for yourself. You can see they're stacked up like 2-3 high. There's a pretty cool Duster that was sitting out there. It looks like running and driving a car. It's kind of hard to get around these places because it was so muddy and the cars were so piled in. But he did have a few cars that were lying around, like this one in the dry storage and garage. Big old lead sled right there. There's another one. Boy, I'd love cruising around in that car. I bet you that thing's got a big enough motor to light them all up. Look at how solid that thing is. That'd be fun. But, they were just lying all over the place. There's a Super B. I think that was a 440 Super B, but it's that burnt orange color, man. I love that color. Had a couple of those burnt orange cars. Nice little street rod out there. I actually went to my last day of high school mechanics class in a car like that, except it had a blower on it. It was painted yellow and flamed. Another cool ride right there. Yeah, I remember the principal come running out. He's like, "Don't you dare." And I'm like, "I'm not going to do anything." And as soon as I got just at the side of the school, boy, I lit them up. Those black marks stayed there for years. It had an alcohol grip on it. That was fun. There were a bunch of Corvettes out there. Camaro. You can see all the stuff in the background. It was literally piled everywhere. And a lot of it was piled 2-3 high. I showed a couple of the inside pictures of this was about halfway facing down one end of the chicken coop. Just cars everywhere. Oh, one of those suicide door Lincoln Continentals. Boy, that thing was heavy and big, and it rode like it was on air. There's a 442, man. Even if I had all this stuff, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't pile that crap all over that car. I mean, I know you can't fix and save everything. Like about a 70 Le Mans Sport. Pretty solid looking car. Looks pretty complete. With the windows open, sure. That was a 428 car, and that was a pretty cool car. There's a Challenger sitting to the right of it, and a 442 old sitting beside it. 57 Bel Air. Look at that car, original paint, that brown paint. Nothing been done to that car. Totally original. Super stock. This was an inside picture of some GMCs that he had sitting there. What's that red thing? Anybody in the comments, please tell me what that thing is. Oh, look at that rat's nest. It looks like a Hemi engine. 1-barrel Hemi engine. Probably a really old car. Spark plug through the, I don't know, did Ford do that? It was a 71, 72 Chevelle SS. Let's just pile a bunch of crap on top of it. It don't matter when people like me would kill to have that car. Mustang, convertible in the background. That looks like a pretty complete solid car. It doesn't look like that's ever been touched. We got out there, we got a 72 Cuda sitting out in the field. Sometimes when I go into some of these places, it really is a shame what I have to look at. There's another part of one of the chicken coops, just cars piled into the rafters in there. Inch apart from each other. There's a close-up of that Chevelle. Look at that SS. Yeehaw! Super sport. Even though I did this for a living and I took 100,000 pictures, whatever pictures I took, and I traveled all over the place doing this stuff, it was a long time ago. I walk out the door every day like everybody else. Now I'm a lot older, and I still got to go to work every day. And then after working 8 to 10 hours, I come home, I rest for an hour or so, and grab something to eat. And then I'm making these videos until about 4 o'clock in the morning. Get up at 8:30 and do it all over again. So my dream is to stay at home and continue doing this, and continue entertaining people with these videos, and maybe teaching future generations. So please consider giving with the Patreon page or any way that you can help, because I think it's important that I keep doing this, and it's been tough, paying rent and just trying to keep my head above water. I'm older now, so it's, it's a little bit hard. So if you can consider giving me Patreon, then that'd be great. Boy, look at that, is a damn station wagon right there. That is a boat. Good Lord, if you hit somebody with that car there now, you'd kill everybody in that other car. There's a nice note we're sitting right there. What a beauty. Nice and solid. What we got here? Ooh, Trans Am. Well, it don't look like it was a big 455 car or anything, but nice little Trans Am. Firebird. There's another one of these super huge station wagons. You know, I was watching the video. If you happen to have some pretty cool pictures or a story of how you found your car, look at all those cars in the background there. Yeah, you know, don't forget, you can go to southernbush@gmail.com and fire off those pictures and tell me where you found it. And let's get a Tales from the Bush done on your finds. That'd be great to get something like that going. That's how a lot of stuff can get out there and people can see it. There you go, 489 cars found in hidden chicken coops. 4 chicken coops. They were hidden in these chicken coops. Just insane. Look at all the stuff in the background. There's little houses all over the place. It's just crazy. It's Corvette there, Camaro. I guess you guys call that second generation Camaro. There's a Mustang sitting there, no windshield, no glass most of the way around it, but there's an engine in there. Car don't look touched. Don't look like much been done to it. And then we got this bad boy. These things were jammed in there so tight, there was almost no way to get these cars out of there. And look, you can see inside, that's one of the chicken coops. That's in the beginning, that's why you can see some of the light. But they were just jammed in there. I mean, the guy was a genius to do this, but why let these cars rot away like that? That's one of those VW things, I think. Things, they call them, something like that. We got a 69 Charger sitting on the side of the building, you know. And I give my right arm to have that car right now, and it's just sitting there rotting all the heck. Well, there's a big old lead sled. A lot of property. There was a lot of property. It was definitely a big property. Oh boy, there's just stuff lying all over the place. It was hard to, like I said, it was hard to get through all this stuff, especially with all the mud and dirt and all that other stuff. But there's that Malibu again. There's a side view of that Charger. And you look at that car's rough and scary looking, but it was solid. Really solid. It just don't look like it had an engine in it. There's a nice 340 Dart Scat Pack sitting out in the field. You got the hood scoops and the hood pins. That's how you know it's a 340 car. I don't know what that, I think that was a 56 Bel Air. There's stuff piled inside there. All cars all around it. Cars everywhere. That was a Hemi engine that was sitting on the ground there. That is a weird looking intake. What kind of an intake is that? Racing intake? 4-barrel carburetor? Couldn't possibly get enough fuel to that engine with a 4-barrel, I wouldn't think. Look at the taillights on that thing, how they extend down. Boy, they had some creativity back then. There's that 7340 Scat Pack Dart Swinger. And it looks like a GTO beside it. Look at all the cars in the background, man. Wow. I mean, there's just stuff everywhere. But, you know, I don't know if the guy was collecting stuff for the value of the scrap or what. But, you know, he did it, we didn't, and all the power to him. Smart enough to keep these cars saved, and, you know, that's exactly what the guy did. That car right there doesn't look like it's been touched at all. Oh, it looks like one of those convertible tops, too, or the pull-away top. They did a lot of weird things back then. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a pretty cool looking car. I don't know if I'd save that car, but that looks like a pretty untouched car, if you ask me. There's another shot of that whole chicken coop there. God, there were so many cars in that building. You couldn't get in between any of the cars. I don't know how you can move them all out. A couple Corvettes. I think there was a Mustang beside it. I can't remember if that was a Mustang beside it or not, but yeah, there's another barn shot. All those cars piled in that building. Just wow. I mean, at least the guy was smart enough to put them in there. I kind of thought you'd have some chickens in there back then, but hey, what can I tell you? That's not my problem. What is that white thing right there? Anybody know what that thing is? There's a big old, that was like 71, 72 Pontiac, something big like that. Like I said, you know, well, I don't know how he got all these cars in there, but without screwing all these cars up, but they definitely look solid. Looks like a Coops right there, with a hood snorkel. Well, I appreciate you coming out by and checking on another Tales from the Bush, and trust me, I got a lot more to come. So hopefully you like and subscribe and stick around for a little bit more. We'll talk to y'all again soon.